Hooty hoo! Hooty hoo! Where my people at? Where my people at? Hey now, what you say now? Do I have myself situated? My camera got moved. Hey y'all. I see Ward is first place here. He wanted to make sure that he was here first. And he's here. Hey everybody. Good morning. I believe I've got all my pieces and parts together this morning. Hey, Julie. Good morning, Julie. I don't know why when I see your name, I want to say it like that. Maybe because there's two E's. I don't know. It's weird. And, not mocking. Toki, hey, good morning. Janae, good morning. Hey, everybody. Woo, woo. I'm close to on time this morning. Proud of myself. Yes, I'm is. Yes, I'm is. Proud of myself this morning. It is Friday. Friday. And it's the end of the month. We're at the last day of the month. We're at May 30th, last day of the trading month, because tomorrow is actually the 31st. Thanks, Janae, because I definitely thought it was like the end of the month today. Janae was like, nope, we get one more day. I was definitely thinking tomorrow was the first, but it's not. Good morning, Tanya. Hey, everybody. Cool. TGIF. I like the way you sing the E's. That's wonderful. I don't want to be saying nobody's name all crazy and they be like, quit saying my name like that. Of course, y'all know my name is Arlissa, but I have some friends, and well, they're friends now. They weren't friends initially who say my name. They call me Lisa, which I'm not sure how they got Lisa out of Arlissa, but they call me Lisa. And I just let it go for a long time. But I'm like, I don't know how you got Lisa out of that. But they do. They call me Lisa. Again, they're close friends now. But I'm like, how'd you get that out of Arlissa? There's two S's, clearly. Clearly. Okay, let's get going this morning. See what the market has for us. See what we can see today. See if there can be some money made on this last. So you can close out May strong. We want to close out May strong. Woo, 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 woo. Gonna knock down the market. I was waking up this morning and I was visualizing myself profitable. I was visualizing myself in profit today. So we're going to do what we need to do to make that visualization come to pass. Yes, we are. All right. So this morning, the VIX is at 1947. Come on, put on the screen. I left my computer on because there was a link I needed to come back to. I needed to swing back to adding an email to my domain, and I didn't want to forget that. So I left the computer on, and I know I'm probably going to regret that because it didn't give all the things a chance to shut down and restart. So things are moving kind of slow this morning, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. I really should have just closed it because now I'm thinking about it, and I really could have just closed it and started my computer over and had better service on my on my computer. But we here now, so let's make it do what it do. Like I said, the VIX is at 1947 this morning. VIX down a little bit, it's a little bit below 20, so that gives us a little bit of up. We've had a couple of down days. Yesterday was down, and then it kind of had a run up at the end. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Wednesday was a down day. Yesterday down, and then it bounced up at the end. We did close above 5,900. I think it was like 5,912 or something like that. So we do have kind of set ourselves up for a little bit of upward mobility, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. Trump claims China violated the trade agreement already. We violated already. U.S.-China trade tensions are ramping up again as Trump's tariffs face legal limbo in the U.S. I think yesterday, at the end of the day, we saw some more news that the judges decided to let the tariffs stand as is for now. I think that was the last thing I saw, was that they allowed them to stand as is for now. Like basically they'll continue to discuss whether he overreached or whatever in his overarching tariffs that just were sweeping. They were called. They used the word sweeping in his sweeping tariffs. I guess we'll see how that continues to play itself out. U.S. stock futures slip as Trump amps up China tensions. Obscure tax item in Trump's big bill is spooking Wall Street. Fed's preferred inflation gauge cools in April. The end of the easy U.S. stock bet has been good on contrarians. Nvidia's China setback is a tariffs bargaining chip. Costco defies tariff shifts with higher profit. Costco did their good earnings from what I understood. Gap stock sinks after warning of up to $300 million in tariff costs. I think one thing that this sweeping tariff is revealing to us is how much or how many of our goods are coming from someplace else, and how much there are places that we don't necessarily. Some places I think you can automatically, kind of like a clear shot, you can see where your stuff is coming from, that it's being shipped in from other places. But I think this whole tariff thing is revealing that there are other goods of ours that are coming that we didn't necessarily think were coming from foreign places, and we're going to see some of that come in. This feels rocky in the short run, but I'm reserving comment for the most part. But I don't know. I feel like this isn't necessarily all bad. It's going to shake out some stuff. It's going to shake out. We're going to see some stuff. What they say what don't come out in the wash going to come out in the rinse. That I think this is what we're going to see. Some stuff that's going to come out in the wash, and some more stuff is going to come out in the rinse. I think we're going to take some hits along the way, though. I think we're going to take some hits. It's going to be a bumpy ride along the way. So in our futures, Dow futures, S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, all of them are down at this point. Stock futures fall as Trump says China has violated the trade agreement. Oil is red. 10-year bonds are red. Europe, we've got all green over there. The Europeans are like, this is all great. European stock markets rise amid U.S. tariff uncertainty. Everything's green over in our European market and our Asia market, mostly red. ASX is the only one that's green. Asia Pacific markets fall as U.S. appeals court reinstates the Trump tariffs. So everybody got excited when they were off. Folks not so excited when they were back on. JRE, wow, thank you so much. Much appreciation. Okay, let's see what crypto has here. Crypto, everything over in crypto is red right now. Bitcoin is down at 105. Ethereum is at 2616 or down 30. Solana is at 163, down 3.6. Dogecoin is at 0.20. XRP is at 2.2. All right. That's what's going on with that. All righty. Calendar for today. We had this morning, we've got core PCE that came in. It came in as anticipated. It looks 0.1. It was supposed to be 0.1. They thought it would be 0.1, and it is. Goods trade balance came in green. Personal income green. Personal spending right as they anticipated. Preliminary wholesale. So all that stuff is good. Chicago PMI comes at 945. University of Michigan consumer sentiment. This used to be red, but I guess, as they started comparing it to the other things that are red, the University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, not so important. And we were asking before too, like, who are the people that they're asking? Who are the people in Michigan or in the University of Michigan? Who we asking about our consumer sentiments? Why we only asking them? So maybe it wasn't as important. At 12:20, FOMC member Bostic will speak, and at 7:30, Goolsbee will speak. This is what we have today. If you're online and you're with me and you know of some other stuff that's coming today that's not on this list, please let us know, because there's always some presidential announcement or somebody else who's gonna be talking. Like when Jay Powell and Trump had their meeting the other day at the White House, didn't nobody told us ahead of time. Then we look up, our chart drops off, like, what is happening? Come to find out that Jay Powell and Trump was having a meeting. I think that was yesterday. But listen, Jay Powell, he gets my respect. I say this all the time. Jerome Powell gets my respect. He has a tough job, and his job overarches the presidency. He's not, from what I can tell, it's not being swayed by who's in office, because Jay Powell said his job is bigger than that. His job is bigger. He's got to keep the U.S. economy in the road as best he can. And he's done this through several presidents. And personally, I'm like, go do your good work, Jerome. And somebody's got to keep us straight and not be dealing with politics along the way. Keep the U.S. economy together as best you can, because we facing some tenuous times. All right. So we had our stuff. This is investing.com. Core PCE price index is all 830. We did all that, did all that. 9 o'clock daily Fed Fed PCE. 945 Chicago PMI. This shows as a red folder or 3 stars here. It didn't show as 3 stars over on Forex Factory. This shows it as more of an event. Chicago PMI, more of a red folder. Michigan, University of Michigan stuff shows the 2 stars, which would be medium volatility. 11:30, Atlanta Fed GDP. Bostic will speak, FOMC at 12:20. At 1 o'clock, we've got our oil rig count. All that stuff happens. And then 3:30, we get our speculative net positions. That happens every week. Okay. Let's who had earnings? Let's jump to our earnings before we go to our chart. Then we'll go to our numbers. Then we'll go back to our charts. Come on, Instagram. There we go. We had Nvidia earnings was a couple days ago. Best Buy was yesterday morning. Okay, Costco was yesterday after market close. Dell, Ulta. Did anybody check out Ulta? Gap? I think we just talked about Gap had a little problem. They said the tariffs is bitten them. And Gap had earnings, and American Eagle. Gap said the tariffs. Ulta didn't say that. American Eagle. Did Ulta earnings? Ulta usually does pretty good with their earnings because people gonna buy some makeup regardless. Okay, people gonna be in. And even though I think Ulta's, I go in the Ulta store. To me, the Ulta store is a little overwhelming, and the reason I think it's overwhelming is because I don't wear makeup. So I guess if I was looking for something particular, Ulta would be a place to go and find what I was looking for. But when I go into Ulta, it's just a lot of stuff. Like there's all these different lipsticks and all these different things. But I'm going to tell you what Ulta does tell you too. For the people who are business owners or thinking about starting a business, and you not starting because you feel like it's already saturated or somebody already doing that, just walk in Ulta. Walk on the lipstick aisle, walk down the moisturizer area. Okay, listen, this lets you know that you can't saturate it, because if all these people start their hair products, start their lipstick, start their moisturizer, start their whatever, perfumes, body mist, lip gloss, I mean, you can name it, it's in there. All these people do that, right? If they all do and start their stuff, start yours. All right, start whatever it is. If you decide I want to, crochet, there's a lot of people who are crocheting on Instagram. This stuff be so pretty. So pretty. Y'all remember my friend Peggy? Peggy started crocheting and she crocheted so well. She started off doing her thing and she was getting it together. Now she crochets stuff. I'm like, oh, Peggy, you made that. Just start. All right, that's my motivational word for today is start. Just start, because listen, there's no saturation. There's hairstylists on every corner. There's churches on every corner. There's restaurants, 2 or 3 restaurants all in the same plaza, and people in there buying their food all the time. There's grocery stores all up and down the street. There's drugstores. Start yours. Start. Go. If you decide you want to sell books, write it. The library full of books. The bookstore is full of books. People still put more books in them. Write yours. Put yours out there. All right. Don't be talking about somebody else already did that. So you do that too. Somebody else already frying chicken. So fry yours. Fry your chicken. Somebody else already making cupcakes. So make your cupcakes. Just start. Yes, Janae, just start. We got mug ideas, book ideas, design ideas. Just do it. Because why not? Why not? Just do it. Just do it. No, your idea, just do it. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm off of that. That was my motivational moment. All right. Headline flow waking SPX from its multi-hour chop finally. I posted 5,900 to 15 chop equals chop. And if 5,900 fails, we would sell down to 58.79, then 58.67. We sold down to 58.67 exact and bounced. Failed break of yesterday's low. 5,900, 59.15 is next above. 59.15 must clear to see 59.26 and 59.35 plus. Leg down is below 59.67. The gap between SPX and ES is 10 points now. This XSP range actually needs to say 590, no, not 596. What? I got my numbers all mixed it up here. Let me go and check that because that is not right. It needs to be adjusted. Let me move this to the other screen and make my adjustments real time because I'm trying to be accurate as possible. Ain't trying to have y'all with bad information. Information. Come on, let's move to the other screen. Okay, here we go. Why are you tripping? Let me move that to the other screen and then make these changes in real time because this is not the way that's supposed to look. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Y'all can't see what I'm doing just yet, but you will in a minute. Okay, let's go back to the other screen. Remove. Add to the stage. Okay. Y'all can see it now. There we go. Leg down is less than 58, 60. Okay, I don't got myself confused. Alrighty. With 58.70, 58.67. If we sold down to 58.67 exact and bounced, fail break of yesterday's low. 59. Okay, remember this, the gap down, the gap is 10 below 59. Okay, 35. Leg down. If we're below, this must mean that 58.67. There we go. That should be an 8. 58.67. And our XSP range is 586 to 594. This needs to be a 4. Okay. I'm going to fix this and I'll make sure that it goes into our Telegram chat. So now let's read it properly so that way we can get our right numbers. When we do these numbers go on your chart. All right, these numbers go on your chart. So that way when you're looking at your chart during the day, because what we stare at when we're trading during the day is what we're focusing our energy on is that chart. It's where all the information is in that chart. Headline flow, waking of SPX from its multi-hour chop. Finally, I posted 5,900 to 59.15 equals chop. And if 5,900 fails, we would sell down to 58.79, then 58.67. We sold down to 58.67 exact and bounced, failed break of yesterday's low. 5,900, 59.15 is next above. 59.15 must clear to see 59.26 and 59.35 plus. We're going to leg down if we get below 58.67. Gap between those two is still 10 points. The XSP range, because we trade SPX and XSP, that range is from 586 to 594. All right. 586 to 594 is that range. There we go. Now we're going to go to our charts. Now let's go to the chart. Nope, can't close that yet because that's where the chart is. That's where the charts are. That's where the charts are. Okay, I need you, but not right there. I guess I got to leave you there for now. All right, SPX 500 is currently at 58.90. And Adam was just mentioning what, 58.67, 58.87 were places we needed to be mindful of. Let me move this back to the other screen so that I can see two things at once. I need to be able to see two things at one time. There we go. Back on the right screen. Yes, we are. Okay. 58. I want to say 87. Now you don't want to be. Now you act right. People are waiting on us. Behave. 58.79 and 58.67. All right. So let's go to the 15-minute chart so we can see what's going on. SPX 500 is where we can see everything that's happening overnight in SPX. You know, we can't see it on Thinkorswim because there's no overnight place, but TradingView, thank you, TradingView, has SPX 500. So we can see the overnight movement of SPX, even though you could watch, you know, the ES and just remember that to subtract the 10. Really what you're watching is the movement, not exactly the numbers through the night. If you wanted to, you know, follow and trace it through the night, you're not watching the numbers, you're really watching the price action. Looks like, though, if we're checking our moving averages, this is what we're checking for, is trend, moving averages. Where are we, right? All of the moving averages are now above the price. This is the 200 moving average, the 100, the 50, the 20. All of the moving averages are on top of the price, and they're fanned out and going downwards. So this is a bearish setup. The Bears are back in town. The Bears are back in town, right? Good morning, Selena. Selena says, let's trade wise and end on a good note. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We trading what we see in here today. We're strategic, laser focused, scalpel sharp. Yes. Okay. But this is where we are. 58.86. Did a little bit of a drop. I'm looking at but you see, y'all can see how this trend is looking. We've trended downwards since yesterday. Basically, we had some pops along the way, but we've been definitely on a downwards ride. Had some crossovers that happened along the way. This is the 20-period moving average, and when it crossed here, it crossed the 50, crossed the 100, crossed the 200. It's just saying, I'm going down. That's what it was saying. It crossed over everybody, and the 20 is like, we just, you know, going down. So again, as I say all the time, what's my motto? What's our motto in here? Trade what you see, not what you hope to see. You trade what you see, not what you hope to see. Speaking of which, let me show y'all this real quick. I put out a fresh product yesterday and it spoke to me, and I don't think I was alone. It says trade the chart and not your heart. That's what it says. Trade the chart and not your heart. Let me bring this to the right page. Where we at? Where we at though? Oh, I want to stay here. Oh no. What are you doing? Ay. What are you doing, Arlissa? Gotta sing to myself. You know, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing? What my daughter would say when somebody really acted a monkey, you got to put a K on the front of it, and you say, what are you doing? My daughter is funny people. Okay. So let me go to the other screen. I've added a new product to my Etsy shop, and it is this product right here. It's a mug. It says trade the chart and not your heart. Can y'all see that? Let me make it bigger so everybody can see what we're looking at. Is that a specific chart of something? I grabbed the chart. I think it may be triple Q. I'm trying to remember which chart was it, but it was a triple Q segment of triple Q. I grabbed trade the chart not your heart. Because see, sometimes we'll see stuff and we'll want to see stuff and we'll be like, oh, I think it's going up. And in this case, Triple Q has been going up, but you see these reds in here though. So there are some days when it's not necessarily going up, but you want to trade the chart and not your heart. Hey, Ivy, I'm going to sing along the way because I have to entertain myself. But yes, this is in my Etsy shop. This is my latest mug. I'm putting the link in the chat. It's $8.98. Trade the chart and not your heart. You trade what you see. Trade what you see, not what you think you're going to see, not what you hope to see. Because there are people yesterday who, after NVIDIA had their earnings run up, people thought we were going to hop in the market and it was green, let's go. And that was Tuesday. That didn't happen yesterday. Yesterday was we got in the market and it fell down. It closed that gap and then closed it some more. And then it recovered after that. All right. So listen, don't be jumping in thinking, oh yeah, we've been to run to the moon. Folk hopped in ready to hop in calls, and what happened? The market will snatch your coins. Now, if you had gotten into NVIDIA calls or something calls at the close on Wednesday, and then you were able on Thursday to close your trade real quick and pull your money off the table, you probably were okay. But if you waited till Thursday, believing I'll just ride the wave with NVIDIA and I'm going to hop in some calls on Thursday morning and ride the upwards wave on the wave of NVIDIA, people was profit taking on Thursday. People. Were you people? Because people who was in NVIDIA and got their pop, they took their money on Thursday. And those of us who was waiting on Thursday and trading what we saw, we traded going down. We traded call credit spreads. We traded puts. We traded that way Thursday because we were trading what we saw. All right. So that's how you do that. All right. You trade what you see. Trade what you see. There's the link. bit.ly/MELINSP. There's a capital I. The L and the I look like they're both L's. They're not. MEL capital INSP. Melanin Inspirations over on Etsy. And I believe that link is also in the comments. I think it is. I need to make sure I always put that in there because I always talk about my stuff that's at my Etsy shop, because this is also the same place where that charting calendar, the candlestick calendar is. I haven't mentioned the candlestick calendar in a while, but that's where you can find the candlestick calendar is also in the Etsy shop. All right, let's move on. Let's go back to the charts. I want to go back to the indices. Let's go back and see what they're doing in the pre-market. Okay, SPY. Did y'all look at that strategy I told y'all about the other day? I mentioned to you, it might have been Wednesday. I mentioned to you about trading the gap. Did anybody look to do that yesterday? I did. Did y'all do it yesterday? Trade the gap fill? Y'all didn't even think about it, did y'all? I know we have some buyers who hang out yesterday, but I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna show you what happened. What was this? This is today, yesterday. Nope, one day. I want the 1 day chart. And this is SPY, right? I'm not trying to convince anybody to do something that is not in my membership. I'm just telling you that this is what happened, right? So Wednesday, the market closed down here. Excuse me. The market closed down here on Wednesday. And then it gapped up to here. A gap is formed from the close of one candle to the open of the next candle. That's how we form a gap. Yes. So we close here at the bottom of this red candle or orange candle in this case, and you open up here. So SPY closed here, opened up here. And when it opened here, it closed and filled the gap, which the gap went back down to here. It did all day. It do, and filled that gap. That's a big gap, and it filled it all day long. I did what I told y'all about doing when the market opened, got into a put and rolled down. Now I closed my put partway through. I should have kept riding. I closed it. It danced around a little bit. And then I was like, okay, I got what I'm gonna get. But then it fell down some more, but it closed the entire gap. I told y'all that would be it could be a daily strategy to just gap fill that morning gap. Anyway, that's what I did yesterday as one of the other things, along with our credit spreads, I did yesterday. But this is where SPY is this morning. Got multi-talents over here inside this here membership that is open again for $97 until the end of this month. And then it's going, the price is changing. And sometimes people do that. They say, excuse me, you better hurry up and get in because we're changing the price. And they're just trying to get you to get in, and then the price don't change. The price is changing. Okay. I'm not just giving idle threats and just trying to hurry people to get in. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a great opportunity to come on in. Because one of the main reasons, though, is because I want to be able, as people come in groups, then I can make sure we move together learning wise as a group, right? Because sometimes when we come in onesie, I have to kind of circle back. But when we come in groups, I can move the people forward as a group. All right. But anyway, this is where SPY is. SPY closed yesterday at 590. It's currently at 588 and some change. So at this point, we're about 10 minutes, 12 minutes from the market opens. There's going to be a little bit of a gap down. If it continues along the way that it's going, we'll see what happens. But that's what's going on with SPY. Right now, we're at 588. Let's go see what Triple Q has going. Triple Q closed yesterday at 519 and some change, 519.96. It is currently at 519.22. It has a little bit of a gap down. The moving averages are kind of all coming back together here. But we still are, we're kind of crossing over. Moving averages are deciding what they're doing. We're not clear as far as a pattern goes. The 50-period moving average on this 15-minute chart looks kind of bearish. If we went to a higher time frame, we probably could see it clearly, and we can. This is the 30-minute chart. The 50, which is the blue one, gives us a little more of a downward trend in this shorter time frame. But we want to watch, excuse me, and make sure that we trade what we see. All right, Ivy. Make sure we trade what we see. Make sure we trade what we see. Yes, yes. Now let's look at IWM. Goodness, what is happening inside of my throat? Oh. All right, IWM. You start clearing it, then it's like there's more to clear. IWM, the moving averages are all kind of hanging out together. It closed yesterday at 206, and it is currently at 205 and some change. Yeah. So we got a little bit of a gap down on IWM as well. All right. That's where the indices are this morning. Let's go on back to the slides. We looked at the mug, talked about the membership. I mentioned that already. Well, I want to tell you, though, before we go too far, what's involved in the membership. Because you may think about whether or not to join the membership or to wait till July, which this may be where you may want to go, Ivy. Wait till July. But let's talk about the membership. Then I'll talk about what's going to happen in July. Right now in the membership, we're doing group trading, which is SPX and XSP daily trading, right? We got group trading. We got selling strategies. We've got our Sunday charting session. First Saturday, we have a coaching call. We do our basically using the one strategy, one-on-one session, private Telegram group, and we do impromptu Zoom calls. But we're focusing on just those credit spreads and trading those together. We get alerts. I think I probably should put alerts in there. I don't know if I have that written there. But that's what happens in the membership. But in July, In July, I'm opening up. E2T University. Yep, I need to put a slide in here. I've got me a thingy to go with E2T University. E2T University opens in July, and it is going to be start from the beginning and teach you everything you need to know going all the way up through being ready to do what we have here. So the full education of what you need to be an options trader is going to start in July. Yeah, I think July would be a better move because you, like you say, Ivy, you brand spanking new at this trading thing. And for those who are brand new and need to learn the things along the way, that's where E2T University is going to come into play. And it's going to be like a 12-week window. 12 it's set to be 12 weeks, and if it takes a little longer, because sometimes popcorn kernels take longer to pop, then we'll do it like that. But it's going to run like a quarter system in the university. But and that starts at the beginning, and you're going to learn the strategies, learn the basics of stocks, learn the basics of options, and go on from there. So I think that may be a better move, for you, Ivy, and for anyone else who's listening. That if you already are a trader, already ready to do credit spreads, then the membership is for you. If you're new to this and you really want to get into where this is, then you might want to start with the university, and then in 12 weeks you'll be ready to join in and ready to rock and roll. Okay? All righty. And you got one-on-one coaching though. I've got one-on-one coaching for, if you're along the way and trying to figure out what to do and not real sure, you can go over to my website and check out all the products. But is that a colon? Doesn't look like it. Educator to trader is where all my stuff is. That's where everything is. One-on-one coaching, all the products, everything is at educator2trader.com. You can go to get free resources over at e2t-freebies.com. All the free stuff. 3 things to check before you trade. You can go over there and grab that amongst everything else. There's a whole website full of stuff that you can get for the free over there at e2t-freebies.com. All right, let's go ahead. I think we're ready for our declaration before the market opens. I'm 6 minutes out, doing good timing. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses, my accounts growing steadily. I'm a wise and a knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Lord, it's you who give us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. All right. So I've covered our pre-market look. Where are we? What are we doing? What are we looking at for today? I encourage you to have a stock, a strategy, a plan for yourself for the day, for each day, and then to follow that plan, right? Don't be randomly jumping around. If you're with a community or with a person, ride with that person in that community. If they trade the way you like, then ride out with them. If that person is not available to you, if they're not somebody who you're learning from, then I encourage you to find another place. All right. If the people who you're with don't work for you, find more people, right? Because there's too many people and too many folks in this space that to be with folks who don't work for what you're trying to do and don't jive with you, and you don't get what you need out of the folks you're with. Okay. I definitely have no problem asking. Come on and hang out with us. I promise you, the community that I've curated is definitely open and welcome. And it's a real smooth and comfortable place. The vibe is positive. It's a very good learning environment because I'm an educator. So that's what I'm after, is educating people. I'm not after having, kingdoms unto myself. What I am interested in doing is educating people who can learn to trade and then be master traders and stand on their own. Because sometimes I'm just not available. That's just the truth. Sometimes I'm not available. And I want you to be able to be successful with or without me. I want you to be successful with or without me. All right. So We're doing 3 things today. We're staying green, we're getting this money, and we're having a great green day. If you're in my community, we are live trading today about 10:15. We will be hopping on our Zoom call, and we're going to hang out together because we're going to close out May strong. Woo! All righty, everybody, I'll see y'all later. If you coming on into the membership, you need to come on. You need to come on. All right. Did I put the link for the membership in there? I don't know if I did. Bit2T E2T dash membership. Come on in the room. You need to come on. Quit playing with it and just come on. All right. I'll see y'all in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.